And welcome back, everybody. Don't know if the thumbnail's going to show it or not, but I've got a whole stream of engine parts just laying around. And some of you might recognize this engine right here, all right? This is the 176 engine that I assembled a while back. And I want to put that all together, but you know what? I'm going to use this engine for something else. And you'll see soon enough why I'm not going to assemble this one together. That's the one I got from Shane Smith. But for now, what I want to do, and I've been wanting to do this for quite some time, and now that I've got the exhaust ventilation set up in here and everything, and wintertime's coming and stuff like that, you know, I've been wanting to do this for a while since I started doing that, and that is to start testing my 3D printed parts. You know, 3D printed on it and everything. So these right now you can get them on eBay for like $100. Okay, you know what? That's pretty expensive, at least to me. You know, I've got a few of them laying around and everything. So aluminum ones are pretty cool, but you know, my idea here is I had that to model off of and everything. I wish I'd done the sloper one that's sitting on the saw back there. Maybe I'll rip it apart one day. But the idea here is to, you know, hopefully do 3D printed carbon fiber nylon is what this is printed out of. So it's pretty heat resistant stuff. And I'm wanting to, I need an engine to test. I need a good decent sized engine. So at 99 cc's, I can't see how this can't be the perfect contender for such an item and everything. And the goal here is to assemble this engine, get it running, and then just hook it up to a tank and just let it eat. Like, just set it on, like, you know, 10,000 RPM. I don't have any way of putting it under a load yet. You know, that's kind of the future goals on things. But figure out how to do that. If you guys got an idea on how to put it under a load sitting on a bench, you know, like, I don't want anything that's going to create a bunch of heat. I thought about hooking up to, like, a giant fan, you know, hellacious resistance and everything. You know, I can put that on a setup and just activate it and whatnot. And you just sit there under a load, continuous heavy load to really, you know, test these things. Let me know if you have an idea on that and stuff. I mean, I'm open to ideas. It's got to hook up to the McCulloch crankshaft, you know, somehow, some way. I gotta do that. But I want to test out how well, you know, this is going to hold up under heat and everything. So that is the goal. I know that this holds up fantastically under heat, but it's not directly on the engine. It's on an intake, the Racing Sol, the 790. And this is my adapter, also made of carbon fiber nylon, and it gets slightly warm, but it's nowhere near what the melting point of these are and everything. So this is just an adapter here to adapt carbs like this onto it. They're the offset ones compared to like the other type. I don't have one on me, but they're straight across and everything. So yeah, hold on here. We've got, so you've got your ones that'll bolt directly onto it, your BDC 14, and then you've got your offset bolts and everything. So, oh, your BDC 14s are under here. But these are made to bolt onto those. An adapter is made that I've made and designed and everything is bolted to work for these onto here. And got a good reed cage that's been completely flattened out and everything, so the reeds are good on that one. But I'm wanting to test. That is the goal. 3D printed out parts for these and everything, because you know, this is a super stuffer. This is off of a cart, and I'm going to use it for this purpose right here and everything. So it'll help give a little bit more performance. Maybe it'll, I don't know what to, you know. I do have a regular one in the house, but you know what? If we're going to try to get performance out of this and everything to really test stuff, we're going to need some of the good parts on this. So this is unported. The goal is not to port it or anything. I've already put this engine together, and I have a video on that. I'll put a link in the description, or if I figure it out up at the top. But she's good to go. She's ready with brand new bearings, brand new seal. I mean, it has just been sitting on the shelf. So 99 cc's right there. That's a good medium point between the 123, you know, series, the carts, and you got your smaller 80 cc ones, stuff like that. So if this can handle the heat, then we're gonna be good. I have gaskets around here somewhere that I'll have to. I gotta find them and everything, but do gaskets and everything and put it on here, and hopefully they'll hold up and whatnot and help insulate a little bit of the heat from this. But so I'm yammering. We need to get started. I don't know how far I'm going to show you on the process of putting the engine together. I've got lots of videos on putting these engines together. Excuse me. But The old side cover here, I would use it as it is, the points and everything. Unfortunately, mag rot has gotten to it pretty bad, so I can't use its original side cover. But I do have a good, with the O-ring that is supposed to be on this, I have a good one minus the points. So, yeah, they're identical. So I have seals, and I just got to tap those out and, you know, put new ones in, and then all I got to just swap and convert the points over. That's a really simple, quick job and everything. So I might just flash you forward to that being done. I've got its flywheel it came with without the springs, and yes, this I'm unsure why these were put in here when they were put in here. I think it may have had a flywheel swap in its life, but I have another flywheel right here, and it looks to be identical. Well, it's got a bunch of crap on it because I took it from out inside the house, but looks to be identical in every way, shape, and form. So it will bolt just directly straight on. It looks to, let's see here. Yep, dead matching part numbers 57946. I don't know what it came off of. So, but either way, dead identical. And this has got the springs on it, good, ready to go and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to use this. I don't know if I'm going to use these starter pawls or whatnot. If I've got a belt drive around here somewhere how to start it. You know, you know what? I may just use its original flywheel and remove these off of here because I'm not going to left side start this. I don't think I'm going to. I do have a starter somewhere. It's going to be a beast to start every time, but I think we may have to make this a left side start. We'll see how it evolves. We'll see how everything evolves. I may, like I say, I can always put the springs on the flywheel stuff. We'll just do this one for simplicity's sake. So, all right, we'll see about fast and forward and everything. And I do plan to use one of these carbs. I have it somewhere from the race saw, probably in a drawer or something somewhere. That works fantastic. This is an unused one and everything. I will have to put a nipple in here for the pulse to run these carbs and everything. So I have a new one in box with that pulse. I'll just drill a hole, glue it in, and we'll run a cord up, a hose up to that and everything, so we can get an impulse on it. These SDC carbs, these are pretty good and everything to put on here. They don't quite feed the big saws enough single. They make them run, they run great, but you dual up on these things and everything, they're going to run fantastic. So that'd be another nice little thing to be able to do, is make another one that comes off of here, 3D printed, and just have it one big old setup to and everything. But I need an engine that I can thoroughly test the 3D printedness, the strength of these and everything. I mean, this is absolutely 100% infill on this, so that air can't expand. You know, you can't lose your fuel mixture and stuff too easily. But let's get started on this. Let's get this together, shall we? Cleaned up, bring you back here for a second. Probably one of the best seals drivers setups here. So you get a big old seal, your correct seal, big old socket that's going to go in perfectly around where the outside lip's going to be. And then you take your massive Thor hammer, massive Thor hammer, and you just whack it down and you get it in there straight. You know, I don't think we're going to have a problem with that sealing up around the edges either. And then this is just a dust seal, and I try to save these and just put it right in place right here. Just smack it down in there too, but I'll use a slightly proper size seal. We'll just tap it down in there. I can't find an aftermarket for these. Like, I've tried to find cross-reference, and it doesn't quite. We'll get the smaller one out for this one. Get an easier swing. There we go. And they're nice. And I can't find an aftermarket for that one. I don't know. Of course, the number's hidden now forever, but I've tried to find it and couldn't. So it's just a dust one, I think, more or less, for anything that gets past the seals and stuff. But what it is there's a port right here also that goes in between those two, and then there. So I'm going to seal that up because if you got a seal leak or something like that, then it'll definitely cause an air leak right there. And I think I have one saw with that problem going on. So, but I'm going to just seal that up because there's usually just a piece of cotton. I might look into the point setup that came with this. I don't think I'm actually going to run the points on this. Instead, I'm going to run a Nova chip so that I can advance the timing, advance, disadvance, and do performance as things go on, and things might evolve on this block and everything. So we'll see. But I do have the coil and everything, so got to get all the hardware here gathered up. I had it somewhere, and then I lost it, and then I found it, and everything, so. Oh, wait. There it is. Jeremy did a good job keeping all that together for me. And the old bearing there and stuff, he pressed off of it and stuff, so. I couldn't, I think that was, yeah, that was the other sides, so. Of the block, but all the hardware's in there to get the screw down and everything and whatnot, so. We might put points side. Nah, we're going to do the Nova chip. If I have to, I can tear back into it real quick and set up the points and stuff like that. But if we're going to try to run higher RPM and be consistent and everything and stuff, I want to see how well the Nova chip. If the Nova chip honestly cannot handle sitting here just running nonstop, which I don't know why it wouldn't, then we will definitely put the old points back in it and stuff like that. So, all right, I'll not like I say, this video is just kind of evolving. I've planned it out and everything, and we're going to mount it up to this broken setup here also. I'm going to drill some holes in here at some point. We're just going to bolt her down to the bench right there, and we're going to run it and just give her all the hell possible. Like I say, this is purely to test this right here. And I've got the tack and everything. We can just try to keep it at consistent, steady RPM and just have her run and everything. So I hope you guys are really excited for this and everything. This is something I've been wanting to do, is really just like say test out my 3D printed stuff. I'd like to make some 3D printed stuffers and everything. Getting a scanner is what I want to do, to be able to scan these and make life a little easier on doing some stuff. So let's keep going. I've decided I'm not going to put the points in for now. I think I mentioned this moments ago, or, you know, last little segment there. Decided not to, so that I can play with timing advance if I feel like it on this and everything. Because eventually I want to put use this engine to test, but also I'd like to be able to put it into something at some point. And if I feel like I've really reached a good level with the with doing that and everything on this, you know, just like a stock modified class or whatever, just, you know, taking your average stock chainsaw engine and whatnot, and, you know, McCulloch one. People do this all the time with Huskies and everything. And get a washer here. Timing advance and stuff, and it's just a little bit easier to do timing advances with chips and stuff like that. So, or, you know, electronic ignitions versus points, and not running a 5-degree flywheel and everything on these. And I could just advance the, you know, things 5 degrees and stuff. So I also plan to, mark where top dead center is the best I can on this. And then I'm going to make a mark on the flywheel and the housing and stuff. And then I can at least have a baseline for that kind of stuff in the future. You know, put it up or whatever. Because this is going to be mounted like this when running. So... But things are coming along real nicely. Side cover went on beautifully. Thought I had got another washer. No, I didn't. I grabbed just one. And some of these bolts, you have to put sealant on. It goes through the block. I'm just putting on all because why not, right? Pretty sure I could have looked in there and seen, oh, this one needs it, or oh, this one, yeah. We're just going to play safe and sorry on that one, so. Get these all tightened down. I've got sealant on the backside of this along with the O-ring, just a thin layer to assist in sealing and stuff like that. Play safe than sorry. Back in the day, it probably worked great, but this isn't back in the day. This all was what, built in the 60s, so late 60s. We're at we're at like a 60-year-old saw here and everything. So the block, everything's 6 years old, but we're still gonna. My goal for this one, I'd like to see it touch like 12,000 RPM safely. Even though it probably wasn't rated for that, it was rated for probably 8, 9. We're going to go for 10, 11, 12 maybe. That'd be pretty good. I think that'd be a pretty stout number for this. And to really just let it sit there and eat and on the bench and stuff, and just try to get the RPMs up. And I'm going to have the RPM gauge put on it too and everything, the tack on it, so we can watch it. But that's getting ahead of myself. Let's just let's get her together first here and then go from there. So I think it'll make a great, you know, little performance saw in the future and everything. I'd say it's just stock ports and stuff, but that's fine. So if you guys watched that video of me going to the Ileana show this year displaying my chainsaws, just got a phone call that a Bill Wilson, I gave him my business card, and remember, that was back in July. I'm making this video in October, so it's been a few months, and he just gave me a call saying that he has some McCulloch chainsaws for me. It's like 3 of them. If I want them, I can have them. So he's about, I'd say, a little over 2 hours away from me one way or something, but either way, I told him, hey, I will be at the show next year if it comes down to that time to do it, or, you know, road trip time, you know, whatever. You know, wife and I are always up to try to go out of town and stuff like that when we have the time. Right now, things of it's uncertainty. Are you working today? Are you doing this? Is this happening? You know, schedules and stuff. So it's but you know, consistency in life is up and down right now. So, but this right here, I was going to use that other flywheel I talked about, but I just saw dumb me is missing that. And if we're going to rev this up to high RPMs and stuff, I'm going to be safe and sorry and just go with one of these. I do up in the cabinet over there, I have one of these that is shaved down and stuff like that. So that would be good for like that'd be good for if you're doing strict performance cutting and you're shutting it off, not all day running or anything like that. I guess the cart guys did use it to run all day and whatnot, but this right here, we're just going for a stock saw for now. So if I really want more RPM, I could just bust out that other flywheel and slap it on, and we can really run some RPMs on this, and at the risk of overheating. So, but because I'm going to be running this intake right here, the 3D printed one, I want to try to not melt down everything immediately. So, but I got the spring swapped over from the other one. I got to find the nut and the bolt and everything for this. Get it torqued down. Get the coil on, and the Nova chip hooked up and whatnot. But I wanted to just tell you about how Guy saw it and everything. He loved my display, if I didn't already mention that and everything. I said, well, next year, hopefully I can really get to run them more and rev them up and really just have a good time for everybody and stuff like that. So it was awesome. Mr. Bill Wilson, because that's what I had to write it on and everything. And I've got his number now. So recents, I'll just add him in and we will go from there. So, all right. Bring you back when we're getting to the thingamajig and everything. The sparking stuff. Or attempted. I've got a few coils around here, and hopefully those Novas are good. Alright, here we are. The coil it came with and everything, the wire right here was a little iffy and stuff like that, so I just took it off, but even then, grounding it out to the body, I couldn't get any spark. So I just tossed on a different coil I had on the shelf. That might still be good. I may need to figure out the grounding, but that's the one it came with. And I've got another one here. The spark plug it came with. Nova chip hooked up, negative ground. Some of them like positive. I guess it just depends on the day. Got the light off the best I can there. Raining outside too. What a nice day. I'm smacking y'all around. I'm gonna look right there at the tip if the camera's gonna pick that up. Hold steady now. I'm getting spark every time. Gotta go match the camera speed, 60 hertz, and got it there. But good hot blue spark every time. So we've got spark. What else? We've got to get. We're really not that far away. I got to get this flywheel torqued down 32 foot-pounds. Is what everything equates to. Like I said, this is going to be a test engine, so these things are going to just be kind of wee, you know, around and everything and whatnot. And stuff like that. So we've got to get the. What do we got to do? We got to get. Yeah, we got to get the intake on, gaskets, all that good stuff, hooked up to this base and whatnot. I may do that last off camera or whatever. We got because I don't have any of the hardware today to do this. Work was canceled today, so yeah. And I wasn't really expecting to do this today, so this was kind of get out here and do this on the whim and everything and stuff. So, but we've got that. I'm going to use my 3D printed gasket on the bottom of this. I might just try to glue it on there, but it really wants to have something to hold it in place. And stupid me forgot to put the bolt in over here for this side, so I'm going to have to get a touch creative because it slides in and out, but I'm going to have to get some creative, grind down a bolt and everything, and I got to find a bolt for that. But the rest of them have their bolts in it, so, you know, I make that mistake quite often on this one. I don't know if I want to... I don't know. I may leave that on there just for aesthetics. It ain't going to affect anything, is it? Absolutely not. So, that's how it's going to be bolted up. It gives you an idea. And then we're just going to bolt it down. And I got to, like I say, put some bolts down back here to hold it. And then it should be a pretty good platform to vibrate this entire workbench all to hell and back. So, I think it's going to work out perfect. Maybe I can get some weight and everything and just strap it like some sandbags or something and strap it down to the things and we're just... Or I can also, you know, bolt it to the stump outside or something. I can bring it in here, and I got a really hefty stump, and I can just let it run on that. But I want to run it on the workbench because it's next to the ventilation setup that I have. So, but we'll get there. We will get there. I got to source some bolts and everything to hook this down and whatnot. Lots of good stuff happening, and yeah. Get the lights back on for y'all. Looking like something. Didn't have to do anything funny with the nut for this and everything. Just kind of slides and rotates in. So I had the hardware on hand to get the stuffer bolted onto this, and well, we got to bolt this down to this still, but we'll wait on that. So it is now time to mount the intake on. And when it comes to gaskets, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go with today's sponsor of this video from oldsawshop.com. So if you need a precision fit gasket for your McCulloch chainsaws and many other, including carb kits for McCullochs, other popular brands for like decals and stuff like that, they are there on the website and everything. And if not, he is always making and adding them as people's needs. So when I say precision fit, I mean it is an exact perfect fit for the application at hand. Just like this intake gasket right here, laser cut out for precise measurements and everything. So I do not see me having a problem with this gasket whatsoever leaking and everything. So we are using those gaskets from that website, oldsawshop.com, to be able to get this to happen and everything. So hopefully we're going to have an excellent seal job here, which I know we will. And we're going to go from that and we're going to do that kind of thing. We're going to be bolting this on here and using it to help aid in the testing of my intake that I 3D printed out. So I got to get the other stuff and then we'll get stuff back together. Let's get back to building this. Alright, so I'm probably going to use just a smidge of sealant because, not that the gaskets are not going to hold or anything like that, it's simply because, you know, the surfaces of these, all those years ago, they worked excellent, but nowadays, it's a little bit different on that kind of setup. I just don't. Surfaces are a little warped, a little changed. This is a 60-year-old block and stuff. Plus, also on this, I want to see how well it can, you know, I'm going to give it the best chance possible and everything. So I want to give everything the best chance. You do not have to use sealant with these gaskets, but it is recommended. Like I say, all the surfaces, they do corrode, they have little spots on them. And I can see here where somebody, it looked like it was fixed from the factory, a brazing job right here, slightly. Somebody had brazed it and everything. So, nice little setup there, but all that's clean and everything, so we're going to get our Moto Seal out. We're just going to quickly get this seal down here. Apply that there just to let it start tacking up and everything. Work your way inside out. It just sits right there beautifully. Go ahead and we'll put a light layer on this real quick here. As you all can hear, the rain is really picking up out there. What'd I do with it? There it is. It's like... Never thought that this is what I'd be doing with this engine, but I have been really, like I say, wanting to do this for a while. So, to try out my 3D printed intake. I mean, if it fails, you know what? It fails. But the question is, when does it fail? How will it fail? You know, that kind of good stuff. Am I not lining up? Yeah, it's lining up. I just got to get... measured the holes the best I could for the file off of the legit one and everything, so... you know what I forgot to do? Drill the hole here. To put that in. That's fine. I can do that easy enough when the time comes. I'm thinking that one's too long for the application at hand. I know one of them was supposed to be longer than, and that was that one right there. So we will quickly back this one out. Yeah, this is definitely a thing. 3D printing is definitely doing a lot in the world right now. I've seen people with prosthetics. They've 3D printed have 3D printed for them and stuff and whatnot, and it's no. It straight up just wants that other one. Okay, it's providing some resistance. Yeah, that one's not quite long enough, and that washer decided it wants to be a part of something. Oh, there it goes. The magnet was holding on to it on the inside. Okay. Shouldn't be too long. I'll get it finished up here. Unfortunately, I am 2 bolts shy of a correct type of bolt. Let's see. I don't have long enough in them. Yeah, cap screws. I don't have them long enough. Come on. There we go. Long enough to fit the application it needed. I just screwed that down. But they're supposed to recess down inside of here so that I can bolt this down, the adapter plate down, to make this work tonight. Unfortunately, I don't have that. So these aren't long enough to do the job. They stop about there, and that's not enough to get threads to go down. I really need to get bolts that are about 1 inch long, 3/4 of an inch long. So it gives me time to be able to run to a hardware store tomorrow and get some stuff finished up, but also put a side cover on and stuff like that and everything. So we're gonna have to end this video on this note here, unfortunately, of not getting it to run. At least I wanted to try to fire it over real quick with some down the throat, but we're not gonna get that. So next video, we're gonna hear this run, and it's gonna run great, hopefully. That's the goal and everything. Get the shroud and stuff mounted on. Probably a pull start setup and drilled and whatnot. But at least we've got it together. Ignition, intake bolted on. Yeah, I think we're going to do just excellent on this. So, going to have to leave on this note. We'll say thanks for watching. And if you like what you see, well, you're probably going to be back. See this thing run. It definitely looks like a kart engine. It can definitely probably perform as one and stuff. But this is going to be the... for a while, the test engine to start testing 3D printed stuff and everything. Hopefully it works out. If it doesn't, well, I gave it my best and everything, and we'll have to stick with the old metal intakes, unfortunately, and stuff, but I'm rambling. Thanks for watching.